Well, hello there, and happy Monday to you. I hope that your day has gone well and that you had a great weekend. Listen, welcome to the break room. So glad that you're here. And always want to start off with the housekeeping that we are welcoming in and streaming live from our YouTube channel, our Facebook, and LinkedIn. And this is LinkedIn, your second week of joining with us. Thank you so much for being here with us. And so, again, housekeeping on YouTube, if you will, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, set your notification bell so you're alerted when we go live or whenever I post a video, and share with someone who you feel would benefit from what we talk about. And the same thing over here with you, Facebook and LinkedIn. I would love to have you like this video and share with someone that you feel, again, could benefit from what we discuss here in the break room. So welcome to you if this is your first time joining us here in the break room, and welcome back to those of you that have been here for some time. Thank you for tuning in. And I am Dietra Dennis. I am the self-care coach for nurses. And what I do is I empower my sister nurses to prioritize the care of their MVP, their most valuable patient, which is themselves, so that they can show up as the best version of themselves. And as a result of that, it impacts the well-being of those connected to you. So if you will put in the chat where you are tuning in from, I would love to know that. So it's a dialogue here in the break room. It's not just me talking to myself, and even if you're watching a replay, I do like to follow up with the comments and respond. So again, this is our conversation here in the break room. And as I'm talking about it, the break room is a self-care safe space for nurses. It's a way to escape from the day-to-day tasks, just to come in to get refreshed, to get recharged, and set the tone for your day, set the tone for your week. So, and we have a theme song, so I want you to get ready and shake your shoulders with me as we sing the song, because what it is, you're letting people know, hey, I need a moment, need a few minutes, and I'll be back. I have to go over here to the break room, and I'll be back real soon. So come on, sing it with me. There's a meeting in the break room. I'll be back real soon. Uh-oh, uh-oh. All right, so we've got that in, went through all the housekeeping. So now let's get into it. Are nurses saving the best for last? And again, as you see here, I love music. So, the song that came to mind was Save the Best for Last. And type in the chat if you remember who sung that song. I'll keep going. I want to see if you put in there who sung that song. But it goes like this. Well, part of it. I won't sing it all. But you go and save the best for last. Okay, it was a beautiful song, but I want to ask this question. Do you think it's okay for nurses to save the best, save themselves, save their MVP for last? Let me know in the chat whether yes, you feel like yes, it's okay to save themselves for last, or no. So here is my thoughts about it. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, Dietra, listen, after I have worked long hours, who has time for self-care or caring about yourself? Who has time? Or you might be saying, well, listen, after I've worked the long hours, picked up the extra shift, did all the things around the house, I'm too exhausted. Fatigue, however you want to say it. And I get it. I was once there. Listen, I was being everything to everybody. And then that left me exhausted, overworked, and overwhelmed. But I had to make a decision that if I wanted to show up as my best self, I needed to pour into me just like I pour into others. And so I really feel that, and I know last week we talked about, the industry, there needs to be an overhaul in the industry in itself, evaluate, because it's not working, because that life work balance is not balancing like it needs to, and we really want to emphasize on the life, right? But what I really feel that is because of our, and if you're like me, you have a nurturing personality. And I know in corporate America, when I've worked in a management um, role or in managed care, we would have consultants come in and we would have, different type of personality trait tests that we would take. And I remember one, it was by Myers-Briggs, and it again was a personality test, and mine came up as I was a nurturer. Now there were many that I had different parts of, but the dominant one was a nurturer. And so I want to share with you like the definition of it. And, let me know if that resonates with you, if that is your personality trait as well. So with the, what Myers-Briggs personality trait defined a nurturer as someone characterized by kind-heartedness, optimism, awareness, loyalty, patient, and respectful. And then it went on to, share about, usually a person with a nurturing personality trait goes into a service type career, be it in the medical profession, be it social services, or be it in education. And so, many other careers came up, like a spiritual leader, the military, things of that nature. Those were what Myers-Briggs defined as a personality trait, nurturing personality trait. Now, I want to just list a few because it goes into the positive side of being a nurturer, and then it shows some negative side. So I'll just give three. There were quite a few, but I'll just list three. So a positive trait is that you care deeply for others. The other is that you're service oriented and very concerned with making others happy. And then lastly, you take your duty and your obligations very seriously, and you put forth all the effort to fulfill your obligations or your roles and your responsibilities. Those are great traits. Would you agree? I would love to see in the chat, if you agree with that. And then now what happens, those are excellent traits, but what happens sometimes when there again is an imbalance in that, and it's like to a fault, what happens, these negative traits come up. So you tend to neglect your own needs, tendency to place others' needs above your own. And then you may have a hard time saying no. Let me know again if this resonates with you. Again, I know for me in times past, all of those resonated with me. And when it came to the negative traits, again, started seeing, I was saying yes to everything. And then after saying yes, like, dog, why did I say yes to that? No, I'm tired. No, I don't have any energy to do it. But you do it anyway because, the integrity and you're a person of your word, you're going to do what you said you're going to do. But, on the inside, you're like, why did I say that? But anyway, I want you to understand that when we continue in going in that manner, these are some things that happen when you put or save yourself for last. It leads to unwanted and unhealthy life choices because, like, the thoughts in our minds that we don't have time, we're exhausted. But what tends to happen because you are exhausted, you tend to use food in high stress. You tend to, I can only speak for me, I can't speak for you, pardon me for that. But I know for me, in those stressful moments, I turn to food as my coping skills. And I know I've said this before, this was prior to me going plant-based, but listen, sour cream and onion potato chips were my go-to. They called my name in the stressful moment. But again, that was one unhealthy lifestyle choice. Or I wasn't moving my body as I needed to, wasn't exercising, and then wasn't getting enough sleep. And all of those three things is what American Nurses Association had a survey, and it revealed that nurses are less healthy than the average American because of high levels of stress, because of, obesity, and then not able to get sleep. So again, this is what happens when we save ourselves for last, or the best for last. The other thing is that, again, as I mentioned, the high levels of stress, that in turns have the cortisol, the stress hormone levels very high in the body. And if that is gone on for a prolonged period of time, what ends up happening, it puts you at risk for chronic health conditions like diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and other things, weakening your immune system. So again, this is what happens when you save the best, which is you, for last. And lastly, and this is something that we discussed during our workshop on last week, is that dissatisfaction that then leads you to want to leave the profession. And I've been seeing that quite a bit. A lot of people wanting to leave the profession altogether. And I could understand if you have a role that you're in any aspect of nursing, you feel like, okay, you want to explore other things. That's great. But to just say, forget it all. I mean, it was all the work that you put into becoming a nurse and your why of becoming a nurse, to throw that all away because of frustration. I want us to kind of flip the script a little bit. And so what I feel is a way to overcome having that imbalance of, having that negative trait, leading the way where you're putting yourself last, is that, again, prioritizing the care of your MVP, your most valuable patient, which is you. And so why is that important? Number one, it is a way for you to take back your power, because you are the CEO of you, right? And so this is an opportunity. Self-care is that opportunity to take back your power. That is how you do that, putting you first. The other reason, again, it reduces the stress and better prepares you for the demands of your role. We know that nursing is a demanding role. We know that. But by prioritizing your MVP, this helps to reduce that stress and, again, prepares you for the demands of the role. And lastly, it replenishes your empathy and compassion. And we know it's very critical in every aspect of nursing for you to have empathy and compassion, because when you constantly pour out that empathy and compassion each and every day without replenishing, it puts you at risk for depression and anxiety. And who wants to be in that space, right? We want to be able to live a life of being satisfied and being fulfilled in everything that we do. And so that's what I wanted to share with us today, that is so important. Yes, the song Save the Best for Last is a beautiful song, but saving ourselves or saving the best of us for last is not a good idea. It is important for us to put ourselves first. So I wanted to, before we go any further, to see if there were any questions or any comments or anything that resonated with you with what I shared as it relates to putting ourselves first and not saving ourselves for last. All right, if I don't see any comments, I just want to remind you as well to remember to subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, like the video, and then again, share it with others. Even if you're watching this as a replay, share it with others who you feel, if I can get it out, who you feel, they might be saving themselves for last, but really want to support them in prioritizing the care of their MVP. So, I love to end with a quote. And so this one for us tonight is, putting yourself first doesn't mean that you don't care about others. It means that you're wise enough to know that you can't help others if you don't help yourself first. So thank you again for tuning in on tonight. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday, same time, same station. Have a good one.